Welcome back to arguably the most professional StarCraft 2, with one of the oldest players still playing today, the Terran in the red coming in at 37 years old. It's XY, up against the most creative Zerg in the blue. No, not dark, but it's the Vietnamese Zerg, MeoMaika. A best of 3 Terran versus Zerg that comes both highly and locally recommended, as both these players are well known for their, let's be generous and call them original and sometimes extra crispy strategies. So, I'm very excited to see what they come up with, as sometimes it's about working smarter and not harder, which is what we learn with age. And if you agree, maybe put your reading glasses on, make your way down, turn your phone, you guys have phones, and smash that like button. And I don't want to get crazy, carpal tunnel is real, but if you could subscribe as well, that'd be awesome. And Jimmy, what the? Put your crossword down. What? 1,363 likes on this video. And I'll cast another one. And I'll probably do it anyways, because I don't know what else I'd do with my life. I certainly won't be playing professional games at 37. So, thank you for watching. Hopefully you've had a good day so far. And hopefully it's about to get a little bit better, because there are 2 roaches on the way across. That's it. It's a 2 roach timing attack. If you saw 2 roaches in real life, you, well, at the very least, would be upset and potentially panicking. Whereas 2 roaches, when you have a Reaper, you don't even need to call for an exterminator. A Cyclone will do. That's it. But on Dynasty here, with the gold-based mineral line, he's building 2 bunkers in the main, but nothing to protect the natural. So the roaches... Huh. So he's just gonna... That's it. The 2 roach contain will deny mining at the gold base for now, while Meo expands to the 3rd on the low ground. Once the Cyclone comes out, this should get a little bit easier. The Queen standing guard. Mineral walls are the most solid of all materials in StarCraft 2. You should just build everything out of minerals. Mineral walls. Okay, I understand the mechanics, but the mineral walls, they can't be nuked, they can't be shot at, they can only slowly be Well, speaking of structural engineering, who doesn't? Fusion! 4! Who would have thought our nearly middle-aged, or let's be honest, it is middle-aged, player would decide to just go Battlecruiser Rush? Color me shocked. Okay, not really shocked. Not even disappointed. Though, a little cliche, I will say. As rushing to battlecruisers, it's not even a bad idea when your opponent is on... Meo's well known for his low queen count, his ridiculous all-ins. There is no creep spread. There are only 2 queens on the field. A Banshee's coming out. Overlord speed on the way. But unlike... lists every Zerg that you can name, and then some. MeoMaika is not bothering with silly things like creep spread, or a whole bunch of queens. Though, a Banshee coming out at all. Yep, Battlecruiser in production. Ravagers, gonna try to get maybe 1 more kill. But the Banshee, well, the Banshee will prompt some Spore Crawlers, which kind of works against the Battlecruiser idea slightly. There's a bunch of Zerglings. Yeah, the Zergling's well known for countering Banshees. He doesn't know anything besides the Banshee. In fact, it's a little unlikely it gets followed up by a Battlecruiser. Usually if you're going to go Battlecruiser, you're making a Viking or something like that beforehand. But let's throw out any sort of convention here and just kind of see what happens. I'm not going to compare and contrast with the standard metagame, because the only thing these 2 have in common with it is a lack of common sense. 2 armories on the way, a lair, a whole bunch more Zerglings. Battlecruiser will complete, but otherwise, there's pretty much no anti-ground capability. Battlecruiser trying to line up a jump, scans the main, jumps to the side. Meanwhile, SCV's saved by the... He canceled the orbital to save the SCVs, which I guess is worth it. Battlecruiser strafing. There are only 3 queens on the field right now, so Meo doesn't really have much anti-air capability. Alright, Susan, call everyone! We are everyone. Ah. It seems like there's a flaw in our strategy. Alright, positive thinking, Brenda. Alright, well, looks like there's a Yamato cannon-sized hole in the defenses here. Except, no Yamato cannon in production. It's just a single battle cruiser. A wave of Zerglings comes in. He's just gonna eat the siege tank. Well, that was a lot of Zerglings to lose to prove that he doesn't have anything to counter Zerglings. But the SCVs are dying. 2 more Ravager hit squad. It comes in and kills more SCVs than the battle cruisers killed drones, which, an impressive feat. Battle cruiser, only 9 kills. The Banshee comes back around to deal with the Ravagers. There's an Overlord drop. Is he going to chase the battle cruiser? He doesn't even have any more queen. No, he has 5 queens. Wait, the battle cruiser! Jump! He got out. I'm sorry. I apologize. I don't know I'd like to apologize to my friends, my family, the Academy, the Ghost Academy, for my time as a Zerg main, okay? As a 1/3 Terran, I'd like to say that Zergs are filthy and disgusting, and I should not be rooting for battlecruisers to die to queens, because that is, treason. Like and subscribe if you're Terran IRL. More battlecruisers on the... He's going battlecruiser siege tank. The siege tanks, I guess, can get down the ramp, though this one hasn't gotten the memo yet. No Yamato. The production tab is starting to make a little more sense. Yamato cannon is on the way. The fusion core is working up to it. As I don't know what prompted him to continue building battlecruisers besides an innate need that every Terran has to do so. As he technically saw... Well, Hydras are commonly thought of as an anti-air unit, but what they really are is sad when they're forced to play an anti-air unit, which is, of course, limited to dark and dark only. Battlecruiser being used to counter Zerglings, which doesn't seem like a great investment, but... Like, when you don't have the APM to micro a double drop, then you can just make a battlecruiser and have kind of the same effect. And that seems to be what XY is planning on here. A mass overlord drop of... This is just everyone. Like, he's just going to mass drop into the back base? I don't even know what to call it, second, third, whatever. He's salvaging bunkers. Oh, because they walled off the siege tanks. Well, another base is on the way. 2 battle cruisers. There's some a surprising amount of marines in there. The mass overlord drop. One of them not full of units, but also likes feeling like part of the group activity. So... The drop is coming in. And the Zerglings are going to overrun the base. XY has 60 SCVs left over. Still absolutely no units at this base. Hydras and Lings coming in. Siege tank line, but everything that could move did. Unfortunately, the Hydras are being annihilated by the tanks. They will make... Yes, those are Hydras. Confirmed by the scan. Actually, I think he may have lost some high ground vision for a moment. The Hydras actually make it by. The 4th base surprisingly lives. Do the Hydras beat those battlecruisers? They're not gonna try. Yamato cannon lined up. Don't let the cannons hit you in the ass on the way out. Or really anywhere else, because the cannon shot is like the size of a Hydra, so... Would not recommend. So... now what? Wait, the command center didn't die. It was close. They contracted out a single SCV to repair it. Another wave of Zerglings is loaded up for another drop on Operation Overlord. Battle cruisers and bunkers. Oh my. The battle cruisers Don't quite change target in time to stop the drop from coming off. And more SCVs. They have auto repair on, which means they'll actually just outright die here. But 16 more SCVs dead. The Overlord should eventually be taken out. And, well, we see more and more Hydras in production. There is no well, there is an infestation, but he hasn't started a hive. There is no spire. There's the hive, but the Hydras trying to break through the bunkers. 2-2 is done for the siege tanks. The battle cruisers jump over the top, and the Hydras, they can't jump out. Yamato Cannon lines up a volley and knocks out 4 Hydralisks. Well, Mio has way more army supply, has more units, but he is facing that battle cruiser composition. He's on a timer. At some point, you need something more than Hydras. Citation needed. But so far, if he can contain him on 4 bases, then maybe. But XY should be able to max out on battle cruisers, even on just 4 bases. So he's got 4 cruisers, 6 tanks. He's working on 3-3. There are some Whittle Mines out there for dramatic effect and also for one-shotting Hydras, which is pretty dramatic. Like, it can be both things. All right, the Zerglings covering for the Hydra, slipping through the depots into the Nat. We're going to call it the natural. We're just going to go with that. The battle cruisers a little late to the party, but commanding attention nonetheless. Another 20-something SCVs will die. 78 is the total so far, and it won't be the final one. More Hydras. Just enough range to fire... Got him. Outplayed. Viper's on the way. A second Hydralisk den. Did you mean Lurker den? Was that what you were going for? Always have your decoy Hydralisk den, so when he jumps into your base, he won't know that he didn't cut off all your tech. If Mio waited for another, like, minute of mining, maybe 2, then XY would have finished mining out these mineral fields, and he would just be able to run in here. But he's continually harassed this location, so it's made it difficult to do anything of the sort. Another command center. The count is 34 Hydras, though siege tanks and battle cruisers will quickly whittle that down. More battle cruisers. Vipers are also here with no energy. Abducts, which was optimistic. Okay, well, you know, I felt for those Vipers. For a moment, I'm like, that's just like me. XY continues to harden his shell. 27 more Hydras in production. So much easier with 2 Hydralisk den. Really helps the feng shui of the base. As Mio now has almost twice as many bases. Well, XY just dropped a half-dozen mules, so that income gap is a bit of a mule stimulus package. Will help out here. And XY is now at 3-3 with 100 RB supply, so Hydras with no Vipers is becoming more and more optimistic as time goes on. The battlecruiser Micro, it just jumps away, but the Hydras are doing enough damage. They take 1 down. Oh my god, he's just gonna go for it. Okay, here we go. Planetary is also done. The concave of Hydras. Yeah. Well. 5,000 minerals and 2,000 gas. Not a single spell used on either side, which I find to be not surprising. 4 Vipers on the way. There's still bunkers in the midst of everything. Just throwing those in with whatever Marines are left over. He's working on the ship weapons upgrades now. He got the armor. Battlecruisers have the second highest armor in the game when fully upgraded, and the highest base armor overall. I believe it's 6 when they have +3, because they have 3 base armor. Hydras do a lot more than 6 damage, but still... That's not going to be enough to kill the hatch, right? And there's a tragedy of the common situation. Gotta get some Evo chamber battery packs. Oh yeah, that's a great place for an Ultralisk Cavern. You don't want to move your screen too far. That would be... Nope, okay. Just slurping up the hatch. At this point, he has so few minerals, he has to donate plasma to the Vipers. And still coming up short of max energy, but I don't think XY has really unlocked the Ghost Card booster pack yet. The Yanks and the battle cruisers, which does not stop them from teleporting away. So... Widowmine gets a maximum damage hit. Yanks in the tanks, which does successfully kill them. More battle cruisers. He could use Parasitic Bomb. But, well, the battle cruisers are just kind of winning the fight. I think one of those was one of the earlier cruisers. Okay, well... He killed 2, and it only cost 26 Hydras, so who's the real winner here? He's lost 131, 2 Hydras, 100 SCVs dead! Meo's hasn't even lost twice the resources yet, so this isn't a real late-game TVZ. But we've got Ultras on the way, Adrenal Glands, which, yeah, that was within the first 10 minutes of getting Hive is an important timing to get that. Still quicker than Shin. Thor in production. XY only has 68 SCVs. The income, not looking great for him. A little bit of a Mule Mountain there is the only... Oh, the Siege Tank Battle Cruiser. This is some box art composition here. Alright, just slap it in all its glory and all its horror. Meanwhile, Infestor Neural Parasite pops out. Not that MeoMaika has unlocked the Infestor unit yet. The command center is burning. A few SCVs coming down to repair as... Well, the Ultralisk Cavern is uncomfortably vulnerable. Did he just... He really... Really? Okay. Jumps away. Those abducts. You know... That Liam Neeson movie would have been a lot shorter if you could just teleport away from a kidnapping. Blinding Cloud on the tanks does nothing to stop the battle cruisers. And they are prepared to go all Zerve. No, stop with the... You know what? It just kind of expedites the process at this point. Mm-hmm. 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 Do it. Those Vipers eyeing it. That hatch, there's still 17 drones here. Oh no! That hatch committing assisted suicide via Terran. Meanwhile, the rest of the army on what is almost certainly the F2 hotkey. No, he's got his Vipers hotkey, guys. All right, it counts. No other hotkeys besides... Yeah, the rest of his army is somehow being controlled without control groups. Crazy. Blinding Clouds on the tanks. The Hydras are making it towards the main. There are more siege tanks. The battle cruisers could jump in. The SCV's freaking out because they want to die to the Hydras and the depots are stopping them, which is just kind of a dick move. Meanwhile, the battle cruisers strafing across the map. Siege tanks. Brenda! 31 SCVs. It's really not that. It's 5 battle cruisers. Going on 6. He's never had that many. But it's still been too much. Targets the Hydra Den, but have you had second Hydra Den? And MeoMaika builds another Hydra Den. You can never be too careful. The rest of the army, well, Well, here come the Hydras. He's not going to be able to jump away in time. He's trying to micro the battle cruiser. Actually successfully gets one. I guess, yeah. 23 drones. XY is hard supply blocked. Meo is not. He just doesn't have any minerals, which is arguably worse. The battlecruiser's 28 kills, 32 kills. The Hydras will continue to chase. Building armor on the way. High priority upgrade. The Hydras continuing. So the supply is almost even. Unfortunately, I don't think that bodes well for our Zerg artist. Who, has he built a single overseer this game? No. Every single Widow Mine. This is the true Bronze League Heroes experience, where the Widow Mines will just keep firing. The battlecruiser still strafing the drone. Not even strafing, it's just kind of sitting there. Tactical jump is up. He jumps away back home. The battlecruiser fleet still sauntering. Strutting almost. If they were land units, they would be strutting. Sauntering is still a bit much. But, a leisurely glide. Unfortunately, some of them have jump on cooldown, so... ends up, well, maybe a little too lackadaisical with those. As he ends up losing a couple more battlecruisers. Another one jumped in towards the northern side. You can't tactical jump Hydras. Maybe next patch. So, the mini-map is starting to become more coherent, but the supplies and the production tab... You know, if you look at all those things, and you don't look at how the game has actually gone, it almost makes sense. It's like looking at AI art. It's like, huh, oh. Except, this is professional StarCraft. Oh, there goes a battlecruiser. Another cruiser. SCVs. I stand still. Why can they repair but not attack in the air? Alright, Billy. 1 point. Shut up. Okay. Meanwhile, the battlecruiser got yanked in from the corner by the Viper, now gloating over its corpse and consuming the hatchery. But Meo has mined out most of the bases. The natural's gone. Has like 200 minerals left. Oh, finally! The mineral wall was mined through. Honestly, I'm not sure which player did that, because there were like 100 minerals left on one of those patches. But again, we're hitting this location. Siege tanks defending the main from another angle. Hydras, Lings, Vipers. Battlecruisers still going to work. This base was retaken of ducks, but he can just jump, which will never not be funny. How many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man? Well, XY is the old man in this case. Well, the lesson is don't lose all your battlecruisers in the middle of the map. Not a hard lesson, but one that needs to be taught sometimes. The Vipers, only a passing participant in this surprisingly formulaic battle. The Hydras keep clumping up to try to target the battlecruisers. The turrets outflanking the Vipers. But the siege tanks doing what they... And finally gets a Thor, but more siege tanks in the trees. The battlecruisers overhead. And this McDonald's composition is looking to be too much to stomach for Meo here. XY. Well, a single blinding cloud could wipe out like a dozen siege tanks. If only he could get the Viper close enough. And yes, we're down to 1. 9 Vipers have been lost. Yanks in a battlecruiser, which proceeds to immediately jump away. This is like the using plastic straws situation. Using plastic straws to abduct a battlecruiser and save the environment. That'll do it. Oh, wait, not plastic. The paper straws. Either way, straws of any kind. Why are we abducting battle cruisers? Do you know what parasitic bomb is? Do you need to open the Prima strategy guide? At least parasitic bomb is guaranteed to do some damage. Though they can also just tactical jump out of that, so... yeah. This Whittle Mine has 28 kills. I choose to believe it's fired 28 times, even though I don't think there's enough time in the game for that to be true. I'm not sure what I'm watching over here. There's still... well... I'm trying to channel the Bronze League Heroes commentary, if you didn't notice, more than the professional StarCraft 2 commentary, because this is much more reminiscent of watching a Metal League Terran versus Terran. And yes, I'm counting Meo as the Terran, but the Hydras as Marines, because everybody knows that Zergs only exist starting in Platinum. That's a science fact. Look it up. All right? Like and subscribe for more life tips. 1, don't say life in StarCraft 2. There you go. That one's free. Well. So, Hydras and Lynx. This is a planetary with range and building armor. Those are Hydras, which are not that great against it. Meo's now down to 100 supply. The battlecruiser's still going. He actually jumps. I don't think he needed the battlecruisers here, but he wanted them, and that's what's important. There goes the Yamato. And the final Viper gets obliterated. Oh, some Hellbats waddling in. I think they're right-clicked on some of those other drones, though, so... oh, there was a hatchery here. Before, there were 500 hatcheries, but now it's... well, it's not a ghost town, but... in fact, not a single ghost. That's how good their cloaking devices have gotten. Wow, I can't believe it's not butter. That is a beautiful spread right there. I love the difference between XY just trying to push his army forward and XY setting up a new base. What? And then it just kind of ends. Alright. EosMeika looks down at his supply, looks at his minerals, looks at his supply. Well, XY outlasts him. Alright. That old man's stamina is enough. And in game 1, we'll go, I'm not going to say decisively, but the young guns, actually I think he's like 30, but, of all the games I've ever seen, that was certainly one of them. I think I learned a lot. I'm not sure what, but it gave me the impression that there was something to be learned, and that's what's important really, is feeling smart. So, there's that. But don't worry, there's at least one more game. So, if you haven't had enough of these two demonstrating what it is to be human, as opposed to whatever it is Clem versus Cyril is. But wait, there's more. And if you have had enough, then why are you still watching this awkward transition phase while Jimmy loads up the next totally not replay? Because you hadn't noticed it was still on in the background? And now that you mention it, actually, I did want to watch that new Hearthstone vid. Hey! You'll have time for that later. Alright, we both know you weren't going to be productive after this. Anyways, like and subscribe. And we're going to Oceanborn. In fact, we're already there. Try to keep up. Meo with... well, first, of course. Despite the standard nature of the map, we would never be caught doing a normal standard build. Meanwhile, XY with a Reaper Expand. I wonder how much of that battlecruiser play was just freestyling off of the Roach Rush. Not even a Roach Rush, like a Roach scouting party. A Roach expeditionary force. You know, we're getting too complicated here. But, and how much was, I just want to go battlecruisers? The thing is, up until, well, this is still, now, it's so easy to look at these two. It's not that easy, but it's so easy to look and be like, well, what are these guys, diamond? And if it doesn't look like that, well then, I'm being needlessly offensive. But this is much more what high-level StarCraft 2 looks like. Both of these players do have a... Maybe they won't take a game off of Cero. Add that to the list of everyone else. But maybe off of who we throwing under the bus. Cure, the People's Terran. All right, Cure, the highest level player that still looks like a human. Cure would still probably win 19 out of 20 games against both of them. But they still got a shot. And partly because they're both so confident. Now, what is a key point at this level is, one, confidence. Okay? If you can con your way into a victory, which both of them have these strategies that you just commit. You can't half-ass it. You have to full-ass it. If you're going to send the battlecruisers, send the battlecruisers. If you're going to send the hydras, send the hydras. But if you keep going back and forth, as Mio eventually found out, it's just not going to work out for you. But when you fully commit to a strategy, that extra 10 or 20% you've done more than someone who's trying to hedge and maybe like macro it out is the difference. And that's how you could get to the tippy top level, which is, this is the Asia Championship in the playoffs. So that is how you get to the tippy top level without maybe having the most tippy top mechanics. Respectable. And honestly, quite fun to watch Hydras and Zerglings fighting siege tanks and battlecruisers. I mean, a bit painful, but they do quite well on the open field because XY didn't go for any ghosts, and Mio technically built Vipers, but were they a net positive? I'm not convinced. Much more Brood War-esque, with just strong units and relatively small groups fighting it out. Cloak Banshee. And he's waiting. The poor man's battlecruiser. He's going to sit in the base with multiple Cloak Banshees and try to come out. Catch him by surprise. It may very well work, but Mio's going for a quick-ish lair. Did not get any spores. Of course, when you see the Banshees, there should be time for it. There's still always some angles the Banshees can do damage, even if it's only at the edge of the creep, so. 2 Banshees. Now, are you really trying to wall off the third right now? Well, that kind of gives away the Banshees. I'm gonna go ahead and voice my confusion. So, why wait if you're just gonna send him out directly up the center of the map? That's some real 4D chess right there. Mio's making 5 spore crawlers, including one at the front. Brenda, why do they still get to fly? Because Banshees didn't exist during the war. All right. We don't talk about the war anymore, Susan. You know she gets stressed. Well, despite having 5 spore crawlers, 9 drones will die to the Banshees, and possibly... Does he actually know what an over... Okay, I am legitimately... He didn't build a single Overseer last game. And despite... Oh, yeah, meanwhile, the Zerglings... This was a weird cut. Did they just come in the other wide open ramp? I have to assume so. 11 SCVs are now dead. The Banshees, both players slaughtering an inordinate amount of workers. Okay. Well, who would have thought? Curse your sudden but inevitable betrayal. They said if you walled off the third, you'd be fine. But then they came in the natural side. Well, just gonna have to wall that off too, I guess. Even putting the armory in there, which seems gratuitous to me, to be honest. If you're gonna upgrade off it, you're just asking for it then. Whenever I see this, at least put it like a Ghost Academy. The Ghost Academy has some of the most HP to resources spent. The Ghost Academy itself is one of the most efficient walling buildings in terms of resources, even including the gas. It has more HP than a barracks. It builds faster. All right. And of course, you know, it allows you to make ghosts. So it's pretty good. Though, I legitimately... Okay, well, there goes a medevac, but MeoMaika hard supply blocked off that Overlord boss. Meanwhile... We'll just have to take it as it comes with the commentary here. The beauty of it, it's intellectually stimulating to be caught so off guard by the moves that these creative players make, which is a very nice way of saying, what are you doing? What? And more eloquent as well, I will say. This isn't a comic strip. You're supposed to make more than random noises. Also, that'd make for a terrible comic strip. I don't know. Moving on. Just like these medevacs, as they boost across the map. The Zerglings took down the rocks. Hydras on patrol, fine. A couple Marines out there. The Zerglings, no, a dozen Zerglings, not enough to beat 20-something Marines, but with the Hydras in tow, well, there goes a medevac. Does he have both Hydra ups? He loves Hydras. There's a hive on the way, and that is indeed a Ghost Academy. Tell me you're walling off with it. Oh, come on. You built it in the main. You filthy casual. He's transferring. Oh my god, they have so many workers. 90 workers apiece. And some 90 IQ gameplay so far. As... well, the Hydras, they're on creep, don't get the target on the medevacs, but Ultras, adrenal glands, +2 melee. So something resembling a macro game here, as they're both nearly maxed out. 10 minutes. One of the Banshees survived. Double Liberator, double Siege Tank for XY. May even add Ghosts into production if he sees the Ultralisk Cavern. Don't expect some of us in the wreckage from us. Just stay down there. This isn't Clem's army, bro. The Banshee comes back around, gets a couple kills. Spore Crawler in position. I'm still pretty convinced he doesn't know how to build an Overseer. Or he has some sort of religious objection. As in both games, despite Cloak Banshees and Widowmines, there's going to be ghosts, I think, eventually. He may be drag kicking and possibly also screaming into it. But if there are ghosts with Cloak, will he build any Overseer? Also, by the way, no Banelings. He has a Bane Nest. He even has Bane Speed, but he does not have any Banelings. So, we're at this point, it's like we're checking off a bingo card, and oh, there's 33. Okay. Unfortunately, the Marines actually find an Evo chamber here with +3 melee. Quite a valuable upgrade. Only get one of the medevacs. Most of them get out. 3 ghosts in production. So, all right, no cloak for him. Yep, those are, I think he's straight into sensor tower range there. I legitimately do not know. No, don't. Oh my god. Oh, sweet Zerg Jesus. Sweet Kerrigan. Sweet Kerrigan. F2 into siege tanks. Sweet Kerrigan. If you know this song, you're probably older than XY. Or pushing it. So, don't let that stop you from laddering is what I'm trying to say. Cloak is on the way. Still, not a single Overseer. The command center count continues to grow. Ultras joining in, but without Vipers or Infestors, I'm not sure how much more success the Ultras will have that the Hydras, Lings, and Banes did not. I'm both dreading and excited to find out. The Creep is all the way across the map, but there is a zoning planetary. And there's a backup planetary as well. There's something of a base trade happening. A planetary goes down. 12 SCVs, 15. The Marines on quite a shift click. But the medevacs, for the most part, will make it. The macro hatch. And Meo's coming back to defend. Spore Crawler's taking quite a toll. Target's down a Spore. A lot of shift clicking. Gonna try to take down the Ultra, but of all the things, the Ultra is possibly the only one he's not gonna be able to kill. +3 vehicle weapons is denied because he put a damn armory in the wall. I'm not gonna say I told you so, but I will say that I did mention this earlier, and it is one of my greatest pet peeves, and we had a whole little spiel about it, and now here we are, with +2 instead of +3. I'm just saying. Anyways, Ultras coming in, slipping in between the command centers, creating quite a traumatic choke point, of which most of them will not survive. Not sure exactly what happened here, but overall XY has killed more minerals and more gas. Though, in terms of the state of the game, Meo still has like 6 bases and... well, he lost a lot of drones. He's building 6 Vipers. He lost his spawning pool. Did he also lose the Ultra Cavern? No, he's just building another. You can never be too careful. The siege tank still blasting. The Ghosts and the Banshees will cloak. Will he now build any Overseers? Dozens of Zerglings and a couple Ghosts die to siege tanks. The Marine drop. Overlord Speed is on the way. Another Marine drop is trying to out-micro Vipers and is successful. Neo, he sees the Vipers. He just kind of held down the Viper key. 16 drones on the way. Another Viper dies. Flies directly over the Marines. One of the Vipers getting water balloons. Ultras. Cloven in twain. Whoa. There are now 14 Ghosts, 15 Siege Tanks. And are there 15 command centers? Yes. He currently has 4 just generic command centers, 6 orbitals, 9... wait, no, 6... okay, something like that. It's 15-ish. We're ballparking it here, since the command centers themselves are the size of a ballpark. I think that's canon. Anyways, there's also a fusion core. The hell? Did he build an Overseer? No. Okay. Meo is still maxed out. XY has not managed to do so, really. I mean, this is another, if he can contain him. Well, cloaks. I'm not sure what's going on with the Overseer thing. But that does seem like... it seems like you should at some point... because the Overseers have, like, the surveillance mode. They have the anti-F2 mode. So... well... I don't know, Kev. 3 Ultras almost entirely taken out. At least the Ghost didn't make it down in time. But he did scratch the paint on that planetary, so it might have been worth it. XY has mined out of his main... yeah, you know what he could use is probably like 4 or 5 more command centers, I think. He only has 9 orbital commands right now, so... the Mule Canyons. besides the Mio Mountains. The ghosts really starting to test the bounds of that devotion to the... Oh, wait, he built some overseers. Okay. Great job. Aspire on the way, as he aspires to build a different unit composition. The creep is on the door. The changelings will just make it all the way by. He's making it kind of obvious with those changelings, but... Does he have high-sec auto-track key of building? Of course he does. Finally getting back to doing that +3 mech weapons. Unfortunately lost because of the armory in the wall. Sorry. Oh my god, he just volleys out an entire wave of scans. Oh my god. It's like I'm waiting in line at Costco. Could you go already? No, he has 33 ghosts. Why is he in the express lane? I don't... They don't really have an express lane. It's just like the... Like sometimes. It depends. They stopped doing the automated checkout because people were too shitty about it, the one near me. So, not everything can be replaced by automation because people are terrible. Well, I don't know. So, Mio lost 5 Ultras, 15 Banelings, 31 Zerglings, but he did kill a Banshee, 2 Siege Tanks, 2 SCVs, and technically the Planetary. There's 120 Zerglings in production. Because if the first 340 didn't get the job done, well, maybe the next 340 will. There are 10 orbital commands, which means he literally has enough energy to scan twice at all times. And he's willing to show it with a Ventria scan in its natural habitat, sniping the Ultras at point-blank range. Now, this is just gratuitous. Oh, here come the Banelings, the ball of ghosts. He EMPs the Overseers because that feels like you're accomplishing something. Well, lines up some shots, just waves his magic sniper wand. Drones, where are you going? Where are you going? They just get gunned down. The mono battle will continue. So Mio's like, he has 20-something ghosts and 24 siege tanks. Well, how about 11 more ultras? It's like investing in fax machines in 2008. All right, this is the technology of the future. What we're gonna do is we're gonna use phones to email each other. It's like, Winter, you just kind of described how the internet was invented. How about 6 more commands? Anybody have 6 more command centers? Oh my. He doesn't even have that much money in the bank. It's a bit much on the command centers, to be honest. The ghosts unleash an entire volley. The redcoats lining it up. The siege tanks walling off for the siege tanks. The ghosts unleash an entire division of snipes. And he's like, okay, all right. I may have just lost a dozen ultras and 150 Zerglings. But he's almost out of ammo. All right. The amusing thing is, if Mio was just like 12% more cost effective, that might be close to true. If he could deny just one more base, XY would be running out of money. But this base to the south is enough to keep the production going. And it doesn't matter how many dozens of ultras you throw at the problem. You can't do it all at... That Evo chamber was just annoying and in the way, so he decided to kill it, which is the only thing the ultras have effectively killed in the last, like, 15 minutes. Well, 5th time's the charm, as they say. Here we go. Where are the ghosts? Oh, here they are. 3 command centers in the air. Another base going into planetary mode. Not entirely sure. Yeah, good luck killing all those changelings. Alright. This is the best distraction he's done so far. He's trying to move out of the way so the siege tanks can do it. Doesn't want to kill his own ghosts. Honestly, the changeling move was the best option. Is that Caduceus react? Does he even have... He doesn't even have medevac. He's building a medevac. He's like, I should get that medevac fusion core upgrade. Shout out to XY, remembering it exists. The Ultras try to come through. Planetary row here. Ghost just running away, getting behind the siege tank wall. And they fire all their snipes at the Overseers, which actually does allow them to cloak and follow up. Alright, well. So 29 Ultras later, we've got some Corruptors on the way. Not sure if Broodlords are going to do any better. And also, he can't afford them. So... 10 orbital command, 7 planetary... There are 20 plus command centers right now. How many more Ultras can we throw into planetaries? I gotta give Meo some credit for sticking to his metaphorical guns. Unfortunately, he doesn't actually have any real ones, unlike the Terrans, who are making great use of all flavors of them. Gonna try to go through this planetary. We gave up on the Viper idea a while ago. There are 33 ghosts, 17 siege tanks, 20-something command centers. There's a hatchery here as well, just in case you want to stay up to date. Liberators. Does he not have advanced ballistics? You chose Caduceus reactor before advanced ballistics. Why not? I wonder if these Broodlords are all going to get sniped out of the sky in a single volley of snipes. I don't think so. Why would they? Oh, no! Oh, that's crazy. He sniped them all out, and now the Ultras are coming in. Oh, XY is able to take it home. Wow, that was rough. The first game, a hectic roller coaster, where Meo's stubbornness was almost enough to overcome XY's immobile composition. But here, something a little bit closer to target practice, as he loses nearly twice as many resources in his attempts to break through, thus demonstrating why those infestors are usually an important tool. Well, that was certainly something. Something beautiful and terrible about watching an entire musket line of ghosts take down those Ultras. A little bit horrible, but in this case, I think a bit deserved. As a great man, Hydra once said, when I'm really far ahead and I want to lose, I make Ultras. And Meo really taken that methodology to heart. Well, thank you for watching. Hopefully that made your day a little bit, we're going to go with better. And if you got the means of motivation, be also check out Patreon or YouTube membership. But I hear liking and subscribing is still free for now. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Good luck. Have fun. Stay chill. Make a damn infestor.